Look, as a Chicagoan, I know firsthand the terror that DHS's immigration raids have had in our communities. We have been surveilled, threatened, tear gassed, hit with pepper balls, shot, subjected to warrantless arrest and precision immobilization technique maneuvers. We've been kidnapped and disappeared. Neither Trump's administration nor DHS gives a damn if you're a U.S. citizen, a baby, a senior, or a pastor. There is no respect for the rule of law. Terror is unleashed indiscriminately, and fear and cruelty is the point. I want you to take a look at this.
Homeland Security is defending actions taken by federal officers in Chicago over the weekend that sparked outrage from some residents.
Tear gas at Old Irving Park right now, our own neighborhood, scaring our children.
A Halloween parade for kids canceled after agents deployed what appeared to be tear gas.
Never thought.
Can you bring up the body?
The ice house. All these terrorists kids and babies. Mama, you okay, Mama? You okay? You okay, Mama? You okay? Yeah! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! Yeah. Hey, watch out with that weapon! That weapon! Hey, watch out! What's wrong with you? You hit it! You hit her! Yo! What's wrong? You hit her! You guys hit her! You guys hit her! What's wrong with y'all? Y'all hit her? That bust a whole U-turn in the middle of the street! Y'all hit her! Y'all coming! Leave her alone! She ain't even do shit! She trying to go to work! She's trying to go to work! Oh, what? Crazy shit! Y'all some crazy. Y'all got no heart, for real! No heart!
Let go, that's my mom. A 1-year-old U.S. citizen tear gassed, and her father, a young man who was born in this country. On Saturday, October 25th, Border Patrol agents aggressively disrupted a children's Halloween parade and terrorized and injured a 67-year-old citizen, pulling him out of his vehicle, tackling him to the ground, and detaining him. On November 8th, as you saw, ICE agents pepper sprayed a family and their 1-year-old daughter while they were grocery shopping. On Friday, October 10th, an unmarked vehicle driven by federal agents crashed into Diane Figueroa's vehicle, and they exited their vehicle with weapons drawn to forcibly draw Figueroa out of her car. As her child said, "That's my mom." Mr. Francois, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. The greatest threat to public safety right now is Department of Homeland Security, ICE, and CBP under it. Can you describe why ICE and Border Patrol agents under DHS jurisdiction who do not identify themselves properly can lead to dangerous situations?
Yeah, and I think that the images speak louder than any words, but there of course are regulations where DHS agents are supposed to identify themselves. There is language, of course, around particular instances. They're supposed to identify themselves when carrying out arrests, when it is safe to do so. As we've seen, just again and again, they are absolutely failing to do so, and it's of course not only ICE. CBP is increasingly carrying out arrest operations. The Casino Nava litigation shows that over 1,500 people were arrested by ICE during these operations in Chicago over the last 3 months. But it leads to incredibly dangerous situations as these people impersonating the agents and leading to just enhancing the risk and insecurity of people across the board.
So let me follow up on that, and I think you started talking about it. Did the arrest, many like this, but hundreds of arrests, did they violate any laws? And if so, what have the courts said about such arrest?
Well, the Casino Nava settlement agreement is an important important measure that is still underway. In that case, the judge has ordered ICE to release people in that case, potentially hundreds of people. They're reviewing upwards of 600 people now and cross-referencing lists to order the release of people. 13 people have been released, but these are people detained without warrants, without probable cause, without justification, who should never be who should never have been arrested in the first place.
Let me ask one last question because I know my time's up. Ms. Shaw, it feels like every day we're seeing a new story where a federal agent is assaulting a U.S. citizen. We're sitting here with Pastor Black, who was shot with a pepper ball in the head, and I have had to do more congressional inquiries to get U.S. citizens out after they've been arrested for protesting. So let me ask you, what would you say to Kristi Noem, who has said that no American citizens have been arrested or detained?
I would say, Madam Secretary, the lies need to stop. The lies about who is being harmed and who is being helped, because American communities are being harmed by this administration's policies, and it is on her. It's her responsibility as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security to be helping our communities, not terrorizing them, and not putting that footage on the DHS website and social media threads to broadcast terror to our communities. It is appalling.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. So here's my question to my colleagues as I wrap up. If DHS cannot be held accountable, if we're obstructed from conducting oversight at these centers, as some of us have been trying to get into since June, if they are systematically undermining our civil rights, pepper spraying one-year-old children, perpetrating violence in our communities, what is Congress's responsibility? I think the answer is clear. We have to start stripping away every tool they're using to terrorize us. And that starts with the taxpayer dollars that they're using to harm Americans every day. I know it may not be the most popular thing to say, but I do think we need to start having a real conversation about defunding ICE. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.